After nearly 2 years of torture reading Green Arrow, a new team arrives on the scene. Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. And right away, the art is completely different, yet it still keeps the themes of younger Oliver. And the first few pages show Oliver somewhere in the desert, traveling, doubting himself, before quickly turning back to him, rushing into his company building and demanding from his father's partner in business, Emerson, answers to how he lost their father's business and his business. It all seems to be heading towards a big yelling match going back and forth, and then an arrow flies through the window and hits Emerson through the back and comes out of his front, and Oliver shouts, and before he knows it, Emerson is pulled through the window and falls to his death. Oliver is then quickly surrounded by security and has to handle them as he makes his escape, as he now looks like a murderer. When he gets to the streets, he calls his Team Arrow, and before you know it, boom! They're up in smokes. Oliver heads to his stash house, and upon leaving it, is ambushed by a new mysterious villain, bow and all, and they go head to head in a brutal confrontation, with only more questions by the end on who the fuck is this mysterious figure. And this, my friends, is only the first goddamn issue, and it never lets up. The next few issues are as neck-breaking and relentless as this one. Oliver is just a young man at this point, but he is already being pushed to his very limits, his internal thoughts screaming for him to get back up after being put down and almost completely murdered multiple times. To watch him never letting go of the goal to fight back and do what's right, it's truly remarkable, and honestly, it reminds me of another hero that I love quite a lot, and his name is Daredevil. The first arc is entirely just an adrenaline rush that just never stops, mixed with some excellent character motivation and just enough mystery every single issue to make us want more. Introducing key characters, killing off major characters that just came in an arc or two, and giving us so much new mythos to Oliver, including a wonderful addition with the name of Emiko, and while also giving us a villainous Komodo that is basically a crazy person who's justified in his own mind, and it makes sense for that character, even though he's insane, and why he's attacking Oliver and becoming basically his main enemy. But it's not just the story, because that would be too simple. It's the leap of fate to completely go in a new art direction that excels this title. Andrea uses his unique style to have seriously some of my favorite fight scenes I've ever seen in comics. Smooth scenes from falling off the building to close-up of arrows as they go flying towards their targets to bone-crushing kicks and punches. The vivid, or sometimes purposely muddy-looking colors help enhance either the grit of the scene or the beautiful shot of the scene, depending on what they're going for. And it's something I truly appreciated and stood out the most during this run. But hey, these two give an excellent first arc, but a lot of people give an amazing first arc and then it begins to dwindle. Instead, both of these creators decide to push Oliver into new territory while flipping the mythos of the older, established characters on their head and make for some really interesting and actually mostly positive choices, in my opinion, as a Green Arrow fan from the old stuff. Shoto is back into the fold, an older but great character in the Green Arrow mythos, but this time she's more interesting with her coming back and the twist on her and why and who she brings with her all go really deep into the Green Arrow mythos and actually change things that I didn't expect to like and actually did. So listen, I can go deeper into this, but honestly, I feel like I would be doing a disjustice to my viewers listening because this run has to be read because these characters are now in Oliver's life in a different way, and I don't want to spoil any of that. And this is just the first arc that I'm talking about, but the second and third just build upon that to make such an interesting story, and I just cannot recommend this run enough. While it ends a bit abruptly, and I honestly think it's more of a start than an end, I have to say that 2 or 3 more arcs really would have made people pay attention to this one even more, and I think it would have stood along the greats of the New 52, like Batman New 52 or Wonder Woman New 52. But still, this does give us plenty of great moments, big reveals, changes to the mythos that actually improve things, an excellent artistic choice, and Green Arrow by Jeff and Andrea really just made actually my favorite run of Green Arrow of all time. And that's saying a lot as someone who's read a lot and loved a lot of Green Arrow. Now, for people who have read this, what do you guys think? Did you love it? Did you not really feel it? Did you not feel the changes? Or did you absolutely love all the new stuff? If you haven't read this, I gotta ask, what are you waiting for? Go pick this up right now.